This is discipline. A couple thoughts quickly. I wrote this down. Um, this is from Socrates. This is a maxim by Socrates. Socrates says, "The only thing that I know is that I don't know." Um, I want to share that with you today because there is so much power in letting go of knowing. I wrote, what's interesting is that this reminded me that my body, our bodies, what our bodies do is they seek to be comfortable, and our minds seek to know. I refer to the minds as sense-making machines, right? So this is where we get into trouble, is that our minds are constantly trying to know things, and that's why we buy into our thoughts, right? And the depths of the truth. This is one of the big takeaways that I got from my trip to Peru working with plant medicine is I learned that the truth is far, far beyond what our human brains can fathom, right? And by the way, if you're watching this live tomorrow, Wednesday, December 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing the guy that owns the retreat that I went to in Peru. So enjoy that. But anyway, you know, what we need to talk about is slowing the process down and not needing to know, right? I love to operate in this state of calm where I don't need to know. So let's get into discipline. So here's what I wrote. So people that wake up early, is this you? People that wake up early, express gratitude, drink a glass of water, refrain from looking at their phone, do 15 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of journaling, exercise, recite affirmations, fuel their body, listen more than talk, practice high leverage and hard business growth activities, meditate, regularly check into things like this podcast for accountability. These people don't do these things because they believe in themselves. They don't do these things because they're motivated or because the timing is right. People that need those things do things temporarily. People that do these things with regularity, know that if they required, things like motivation, timing, and belief, which come and go, how many days out of 365 days a year do you feel like the timing is right, you believe in yourself, and you're motivated? You get the point? So they don't do it because of that. These people execute these high leverage activities for one reason, and that's because they're disciplined. There's a very, very big distinction between, people that do things because they're motivated, think that it's the right time, and believe. Those people don't move forward in life. People that are disciplined move forward. So discipline is actually a healthy habit that grows as you practice it with consistency over time. There's a very big misnomer about discipline. Sometimes people look at themselves in the mirror and they ask, am I disciplined or not? You really should look in the mirror and ask, am I practicing discipline or not? Because that's where you become disciplined. You don't need to be disciplined to practice discipline. Anybody can practice discipline, which is about consistency and repetition. Got to have a reason to do it, but anybody can practice discipline. By practicing discipline, you actually become disciplined. If you want to become disciplined, you have to practice discipline. So here's what that means. It means following through on the days that are inconvenient and tough. And let me tell you something about success and reaching the mountaintop. It's inconvenient and it's tough. After practicing discipline, if you really want to get into this might take a leap of faith because your belief system might say that it doesn't work. After practicing discipline for 30, 60, or 90 days, when we talk about the Rise Up Challenge, we always say pick a time span of 30, 60, 90 days. Those are the intervals upon which we habituate things that we're doing with regularity. And keep in mind, warning, you can do this with bad habits as well. But after practicing discipline for 30, 60, 90 days, your brain and body retire into a new version of normal, a new normal. So these are referenced by some walks of life. This is what my mentor, Dr. Anderson, taught me. He says these are referred to often as unconsciously competent healthy habits. And what that means is these things start to occur. This is when you know that you're cashing in on discipline, which you always have to practice. When I got up this morning, I didn't want to do this. So I practiced discipline. But unconscious competence is when you start to notice that things begin to occur without your knowing it. So disciplined people are actually more frightened and challenged to be lazy and rest than to take action in support of their goals and dreams. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing? Now, some people would say that's a bad thing. They would say, hey, take it easy, right? That's a little excessive. I think you're overdoing it. But keep in mind, what I'm saying is they do things to leverage their goals and their dreams. Tell me how we can justify stepping away from doing things that leverage our goals and dreams. Say, I deserve a break, and I'm going to take a break by doing things that are counterproductive of my goals and dreams. I would love somebody to debate that with me, explain how that works. Now, here's something that I want you to let you know. There's discipline in all shapes and forms. I take a nap every day to reboot, right? And that actually takes discipline because I don't like to rest like that, like I said, but I take a nap and that takes discipline. So what's your biggest challenge today? To decide on the life you want and why. Think about that. We're always trying to figure that out. Decide on the life you want and why. But once you've done that, once you do decide on what you want and why, and make it really, really attractive, valuable, and sexy, you identify simply the action steps, your secondary choices, the action steps and activities that will leverage that into reality, and then simply commit to them with non-negotiable consistency and follow through until you become disciplined. Did you wake up ready for this? Did you? Did you wake up ready to actually take radical responsibility for your life? If you did, reach out to me or whoever it is that's offering you assistance and just simply share your dreams. Share what it is that you want and why, and then what you're willing to do to get them. That's what's interesting about creating that North Star. If it's important enough to you, maybe even as important as the air that you desire if your head is underwater, you'll do anything to get it. That's why I connect all my wants and dreams with my children. I would die for my children. So let's practice discipline and get rid of anything that's holding you back from your best life. Make sense? I sure hope it does. Love and appreciate you all. I wish you nothing but an amazing day. This is a Tuesday, and we're going to do our podcast version of this. And I hope that you'll join me Wednesday to learn about this mysterious world of plant medicine. This is going to be an awesome one. And just remember, today is an illusion, right? You get to decide if it's an illusion that is moving in the direction that you want or against it. And it always has to do with which thoughts in your brain you create or you give validity to. Right? Your brain is going to be thinking no matter what, but you're actually the architect. You're actually the author. You're the CEO. You run the show, so you can create the illusion as you see fit. So love and appreciate you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.